The Armada dropped out of hyperspace, like thousands of high-velocity bullets striking the surface of a lake. The energy dissipation caused by extraordinary mass decelerating from physics-defying speeds sent gravitational ripples throughout the star system. Admiral Zervik stood on the command deck of his flagship, watching the sensor data update in real time over the holographic displays. He allowed himself a moment of pride. Thousands of ships, carrying billions of the greatest warriors in galactic history, had traversed hundreds of light years to arrive at this moment. After countless generations of warfare, the final known world hosting a sapient species would submit to the Kraxen Empire. "Set course for the primitive planet, best speed," the Admiral commanded. "Yes, Admiral. Orbital insertion expected in 15 microcycles," the pilot echoed. "Just enough time to finalize plans. Perfectly timed, as always," the Admiral thought, as he walked into the Operations Command Center. "Sir, drop pods are loaded and ready for descent. We have 1 billion shock troopers prepared for initial engagement," Senior Captain Zerka stated. "Excellent. The shock troopers are the new bioengineered lifeforms, yes?" "Indeed, sir. They are designed for chaos and destruction on land, water, or air, before self-terminating after approximately 2 planetary revolutions," the Senior Captain said pridefully. "And after that?" the Admiral asked. "We anticipate the shock troops to inflict 40% casualties, resulting in civilizational collapse. Our soldiers will follow to secure the planet within 3 revolutions. We anticipate an additional 10% native casualties during that time. 50% total. That's higher than usual. They are a chaotic and stubborn species, sir. We anticipate any physically capable of fighting will refuse to surrender. Unfortunate. It seems we will only capture their old, sick, and dying. No matter. Their next generation will serve the Empire or never exist." Tens of thousands of oblong dropships separated from the carriers, igniting thrusters to begin their descent. But as they reached the upper atmosphere, the pods began to disintegrate. "Captain, report! What is happening?" Zervix demanded. "Sir, we are losing pods. Thousands of them," the captain stammered. "The planet. It's surrounded by a high-velocity cloud of metallic shrapnel. Millions of pieces of refined alloys traveling at 17,000 miles per hour. Defensive satellites? No, sir, it's trash. The native population has saturated their low orbit with refined metals, dead communication nodes, and refuse. They have choked their own sky with garbage. They didn't even try to clean it, sir. They just kept launching more until the gravity well became a blender." The flagship's sensors struggled to track the near-infinite number of weapons. These weren't guided missiles. They were 20th century hulks of frozen titanium and ancient lead. A discarded coolant tank from a dead space station, moving at 20 times the speed of sound, didn't just hit a dropship. It vaporized on impact, turning the hull and the elite bioconstructs inside into a spray of superheated atoms. The invasion was bleeding heavily before even making landfall. On the ground, native forces fought a desperate battle against 7-meter-tall abominations. The bioconstructs were masterpieces of genetic engineering, muscles intertwined with carbon nanotubes, and brains hardwired for unrestrained violence. They were designed to shrug off all but the most powerful weapons. As an uncontrollable, nearly mindless killing machine with a built-in expiration, the bioconstructs were the perfect design for galactic warfare. However, the natives did not know the rules of galactic warfare, or if they did, they had no intention of following the script. When their chemically propelled ballistics struggled to kill the constructs, they turned to madness. They used walls of industrial flame, deep pit traps that entombed squads alive, and explosive devices baited with their own wounded combatants. "Captain, status?" the Admiral questioned, with trepidation. "Sir, nearly 30% of the shock troops survived the descent. The natives suffered immense casualties, but their command and control remains effective. Our main force dropships have been outfitted with basic shields to survive the debris, but they will face a contested environment." 700 million of the Empire's best bioconstructs, destroyed by garbage, the Admiral lamented. "Sir, all remaining constructs have self-terminated," the captain announced. "The timer has expired. Launch the main force. Do not allow them to regroup. We take this world by the throat. Now!" As the first Kraxen infantry stepped off their transports, they did not find a populace pleading for mercy. They found a world remade in the image of a violent species. The sky was choked with black smoke, the air tasted of the chemical rot emitted by the decaying bioconstructs, and every step offered a new chance to trigger a primitive trap. Microcycles turned to cycles, cycles to cycle sets, and slowly the Kraxen infantry pushed back the native forces. For every Kraxen lost, the natives lost 10, but for every inch gained by the Kraxen, they gained nothing but charred soil and fields of endless explosives. "Sir, the natives have retreated into the mountains. All approaches are either flooded or turned into impenetrable kill zones," the captain explained. "Our orbital sensors cannot provide targeting guidance. They have set fire to every forest and abandoned city. The smoke is too thick to penetrate. Ground casualties are climbing at an unsustainable rate." "Do we have the ground forces to take the native strongholds?" the Admiral asked with anger. "Sir, if current trends continue, it is likely our forces will be depleted before fully subduing the natives." "Pull our forces back and begin selective orbital bombardment," the enraged Admiral shouted. "Sir, the Emperor will have you executed for disobeying his orders to preserve the biosphere." "I am already facing execution for this debacle. This is no longer about the Emperor's pride, but avenging my own." As the Admiral watched the orbital beams impact the native strongholds, a transmission broke the static. The screen lit with the face of a native in a blooded uniform. Behind him, the Admiral could see the flickering lights of a collapsing bunker. "You finally accept your defeat? You reach out to surrender?" the Admiral asked. The native did not respond immediately. Instead, he took a moment to spit blood onto the floor. "Surrender would imply there is a planet left for you to take," the native rasped with hatred. "Or at least a defeated populace to enslave. No, I just wanted to see your face as you watch the spoils of this war burn." "Sir, the natives have launched additional suborbital strikes," the captain shouted. "Point defenses, now!" "No, sir. They are not targeting the Armada. They are targeting themselves." The Admiral watched in horror as the displays turned white. Widespread nuclear detonations rippled across the tectonic plates. Complete biosphere collapse was no longer a projection. It was a reality. "What? Do they not realize we wanted this world? We have lost 4 billion soldiers for nothing!" Laughter crackled through the speakers before the connection died. "That's the bloody point, you moron. We lost, but so did you." The Admiral stood in the cold glow of the holographic fires. Entire continents were turning a molten red, reduced to radioactive slag. "Admiral, by the authority of the Emperor, you are relieved of command. You are to be confined to your quarters until you reach the home station, where you will be tried for gross incompetence." The captain spoke authoritatively. "Guards, restrain the former Admiral." As the Admiral sat confined to his quarters, and his former Armada left the star system, the remains of the battlefield burned with radioactive fire. Nothing beyond single cellular life survived on the surface of the planet. But, miles below, Colonel Holloway keyed the mic. His voice boomed through the bunker. "All forces, begin recovery and repair within the bunker." He glanced at the blast door. "Maybe not in my lifetime, but we'll come rushing out of that door again someday, to return the favor."